when you were doing your research and developing the book, what were some of the surprising things that you discovered that were like, wow, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Well, I was surprised, I think, how much it resonated with people. So I started, before I did my book, I had a blog series where I kind of was putting out some broad content. And it was leading into a talk I was doing at the Gospel Coalition. I've never seen a reaction at least in my interaction in social media, to a blog series ever like that. I was getting inundated with emails and comments, and people were just sending me their stories, unsolicited. Or like, they're saying, "Oh, you just described my pastor. Oh, you just described my church. Oh, you need to hear what happened to me." And it was just coming out of the woodwork. I was filming an interview at a major Christian organization, I won't say which, and we were in the studio filming this, and we were talking about one of the books I'd written, not this one. And when we were wrapping up the interview, the host goes, "So are you working on anything else?" I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm working on a book on spiritual abuse." And as soon as I said that, the hosts were like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We need to talk to you about that, because that happened in our church." And then as soon as that got said, the guy in the sound booth comes out. He's like, "Did you just say you're writing a book about spiritual abuse? Because that happened in my church." And so I think the thing that surprised me was that how willing people were to say something about it as soon as you're willing to give them an opportunity to say something about it. And that tells me the problem is probably a lot deeper than we think.
Well, so many members coming out. Have you found some pastors that were like, "That's me"? Have you had anybody that was willing to admit?
Yes, this is another interesting thing that, I've had several guys write me notes, and some even in person, saying, "You know what, your book really convicted me about the way I've been leading, and I want to change." It wasn't so much saying I'm a spiritually abusive pastor and I'm resigning. It wasn't so much that, but rather I see tendencies that, if left unchecked, could lead me down some really troubling paths. And your book convicted me of those tendencies, and I want to pull that back and change. And that's been really encouraging to me. I was like, wow, I would love to hear more stories of that. And I did hear quite a few, and I really am thankful for that. That's one of the reasons I wrote the book, because I wrote it to leaders, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To help spot abusive pastors, and then not to become them themselves. And hopefully hopefully the book's helping.